It's a teen talk skating podcast where I embarrass myself. Hello, 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 and welcome to episode number 70 of a Teen Talk Skating podcast. This technically means that there has been more a Teen Talk Skating episodes than there have been Eurovision Song Contest, which I know is really easy to do because Eurovision Song Contest literally happens once a year, and this podcast is once a week. But I'm just saying, just one fact that I came up with on the spot. I hope you guys are all doing very, very well. The night I'm recording this was actually the night of the last day of school, so I'm very happy to be done with school. Yeah, no more tests, no more anything, and I'm gonna be able to focus obviously a lot more on this podcast and everything. And all the other, projects I have going on in my life and things I want to do, that academic success and validation takes away from me because I'm one of those people who is very perfectionist by his grades. But anyway, I passed on my tests. All my grades are very, very good, straight A's because I'm a legend. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing very, very well. Honestly, my week was kind of crazy, and I did a lot of stupid things, and gosh, you know what? I have a lot to talk about. This is definitely a ranting episode, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna warn you. But if you guys are doing very, very well with work and school and everything, if you're done with school, great. If you're almost done with school, good luck on finals and everything. If you work, I guess you still have to continue to work through the summer, and I'm very sorry about that. But I hope you guys can still find some time to sit down, listen to this podcast, read a book, maybe watch some old figure skating competitions. That's what definitely I'm gonna do this summer. But yeah, let's head into our program of the week before we get too far into all the ranting. Program of the week. Okay, so for our program of the week, I swear this podcast software is a little off. You heard the theme song. It is time for our program of the week, a program that I enjoyed watching this week. This week, I was rewatching a lot of the 2021 Worlds, which I know was a very special Worlds. Obviously, there was no audience. First time we did that for a while, obviously because of Miss Coronavirus. But that was a long time ago. Honestly, 4 years ago was kind of crazy considering that was the first Worlds I watched, and that was 4 years ago. I've been a fan for 4-ish years. 4.5, 4.5-ish. But anyway, the 2021 World Figure Skating Championships at the men's program, and that specifically is a Chinese skater, Yan Han, and his free skate program, which is set to La La Land. And yes, I am a huge La La Land soundtrack sucker, enthusiast, fan, whatever you want to call it. I do really love the La La Land soundtrack, and I really do feel like this is one of the best uses of it, if that makes sense. It is very much a medley of a lot of the big famous songs from the movie. They're all very somber songs, and a lot of it's actually really a lot of covers. I believe it's John Legend doing all the covers of the songs. Excuse me, I burped. I just had chilies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was good though. But anyway, yeah. So it is a covers of very John Legend has a very deep voice. It's very soulful covers of City of Stars and Audition Fools You Dream, and yeah, very beautiful. And I really enjoy this program because I think it captures the movie so well. I'm one of those people who if you're gonna do a movie adaptation, movie soundtrack kind of theme skate, I feel you should try to be kind of accurate to the movie. And this is one of my favorite examples of that, definitely, because soulfully, stylistically, it is so casual. That's my iPad. I'm sorry, my stomach and my iPad and my burping. I don't even know. It is so on the spot, if that makes sense. I really do enjoy it. Specific choreographing moments throughout the program, he occasionally puts his hands in his pockets, and that is such, to me, such a La La Land thing to do, if that makes sense, because I literally can imagine what's his face, Ryan Gosling, right, doing that. Is Ryan Gosling? I'm so dumb. Ryan Gosling, yeah, Ryan Gosling doing that with his hands in his pockets as well, kind of putting his hand behind his back and one hand forward, kind of it was very jazzy. It's very soulful. I really, really love the step sequence in this program. Again, it goes so well with the music. He does this cool move where it kind of looks like he's gonna go into a camel, but he doesn't. He ends up kind of spinning in place instead for a little bit. And just the turns, the hand motions, the almost gentleness of the music and the program. The moment during auditions Full Dream, he does kind of a mini spread eagle for a moment, and that is so iconic to me. And yeah, a lot of the jumps as well. His jumps have such a nice snapping quality that I feel is definitely one of my favorite things to see from skaters, is that nice snap in the air. it's very satisfying to look at. He does this one kind of steps into a triple loop that kind of comes out of nowhere, and it's a beautiful triple loop. At the end of it, he puts both of his hands out, and it's a beautiful moment to watch. But yeah, despite the mistakes, there is a fall, there is kind of a stumble on a triple flip too. But still, it's a very elegant program. It's done extremely well, and it is just choreographically. I think it is very just. It goes in the movie. It feels very personalized as well, and it really does fit Yon Han. I feel like he is a very nonchalant guy, and La La Land is a very nonchalant movie that still hits extremely hard. And La La Land is such a great movie. I don't know. Maybe this is more of a La La Land rant than a Program of the Week rant. I'm very sorry, but this is an amazing program to watch. Please go check it out after this episode. Yan Han and his free skate at the 2021 World Figure Skating Championships to La La Land, which I just so good. It's such a good program. Go watch it after you listen to this episode for sure. Now it is time for our time. It is time for our main episode. That was your program of the week. Okay, guys, so if you looked at like my notes right now, I always make notes for every figure skating episode that I make. And if you look at my notes right now, it's literally only one page because every single year, at least this is only the second year I'm doing it, so I guess I can't say every single year. But last year I also did this. Last year, the last week of school was very, very hectic for me, and so I end up not planning out a specific figure skating episode. Instead, I kind of call it a ranting episode where I just kind of rant and improv and test my acting abilities, I guess. And yeah, it does have to do with how I was really busy with school and finals and messing up my entire life that I don't really have time to write notes and everything that I usually would love to do. So I will rant about figure skating and my life in general in this episode. Check out last year's episode if you want. I feel like that episode was really messy. Yeah, that episode is really, really messy, and yeah, and so this episode will definitely be messy as well. Obviously, it's not a very traditional episode. There is no specific one topic I'm talking about. There is no specific one theme I'm talking about, or video essay, or skater I'm talking about. It is very much a ranting episode that I just want to rant about. Next episode will definitely be a lot more organized for sure. Another video essay, another skating analysis, another whatnot. But this episode is like the one exception every year to my kind of like usual organization and tidiness and everything, and that is that I just make a pancake episode, I guess, or like a buffet episode, or like a goulash episode, or a melting pot episode, I guess. Like, it kind of just is a little bit of everything, a little skating, a little drama in my life, a little whatnot. And I feel like a lot of it to me is gonna be a lot of, like, connecting my life to skating probably. And so, yeah, for sure. So, I totally get if this is not your kinda episode you wanna listen to, but if you just wanna listen to some random teenager talk about his life for about 45 minutes, then here you go. Here's your present. Have a great summer. But I guess I should say starts by saying that it is extremely hot. If you hear me, like, panting, is that bad? That's really disgusting on a podcast. Like, I literally have to take my glasses off right now. It's so hot right now, and I would love to turn on the AC in my room, but it's, like, really loud and janky and clinky and clattering everywhere, and so I kinda don't wanna turn on the AC because it would, like, be really disruptive to this episode. So, yeah, I had to decide between recording my figure skating episode or, like, living in peace and nice, cool air, and so I've decided to, die of heat stroke or something and record this episode instead. Um, but anyway, I want to talk about risk taking, because that has been a really big relevant theme in my life recently. And yeah, I've done a lot of risk taking for sure. But I think the main thing of it is that, like, to me, risk taking is so difficult because it's not actually like taking the risk that's difficult, it's convincing myself that I should take the risk that is difficult. And like, that is something we see in skating all the time, I feel like. Like, we've seen so many risk taking, and I feel like Alyssa Liu is like a perfect example of this. Alyssa Liu has recently become my new superhero because to me she is so epic for retiring at 16 and then coming back and winning Worlds at 19. That will never be like the craziest story that I've ever heard ever. Like that, nothing can beat that as the craziest story. And to me, that was a huge risk. Like coming back after 2.5-ish years off the ice, coming back and putting yourself in front of a crowd, coming back with this kind of reputation you have behind you of being a very like artistically kind of basic skater. I feel like a lot of people did not like Alyssa Liu's artistry back then when she was younger, coming back with this like new perspective and taking that risk and like being a boss at taking that risk and then ending up getting the rewards for it is so amazing to me. And I feel like that is such an inspiring thing. Um, Especially because a lot of people don't wanna take risks, and sometimes I don't wanna take risks because 'cause I'm scared of the consequences. And yeah, sometimes I think, like, maybe Alyssa Liu was scared of, like, what would happen. Maybe she was scared she wouldn't be as good as she was before. Maybe she was scared of, like, the online criticism that was happening, but, like, and then she ended up not caring that. I feel like a lot of her recent interviews recently have been like, I just don't care about the media. I don't care about what people, oh my god, my computer turned off. I don't really care about what people have to say about me at all. And I just think that carefree style of her skating and that carefree style of her personality is exactly what I want to be like. And she's like the most inspiring person to me right now because like I want to take risk and I don't want to care about what other people think. And I feel like that's just so inspiring to me, and figure skating is full of examples like that. People take risks all the time. Obviously, coming back to a sport is a huge risk that someone takes. That's time, that's investment, that's money, and that's potential criticism that you're getting. But Alyssa Liu, like, just like boss, girl boss that. And I'm just like, you are such a legend to me, and I love Alyssa Liu for doing that. You know, I could count like many, many other risks. Like Yuzuru Hanyu, for example, going for the quad axle in the later part of his career was absolutely crazy. Attempting it at the Olympics was obviously really crazy. Kind of, it was a Hail Mary thing, and yeah, maybe he didn't land it perfectly, but it earned him so much recognition, and there's so much respect for him for trying to attempt that triple axle in the first place. And I really do think that was another like moment where like you took that risk and you got something for it. And so, like, I do feel like in general, like, risk taking, like, you should take risk. And I'm trying to convince myself to do that more, to take risk and to say things and to do things I never thought I would have done. Because in the end, you're gonna get something from it. Like, that's what I've been realizing a lot is that you're gonna get something from it, even if it's not the thing you exactly want from it. And maybe sometimes you will get what you want from it. Like, maybe, yeah, maybe Alyssa Liu did get what she wanted from it and she suddenly became world champ and she kind of girl bossed her way through the world of figure skating again. But maybe sometimes you don't get what you want from it, and Yuzuru Hanyu maybe didn't land the quad axle perfectly, but he still got all this support and recognition. And I think that's so, like, that's the most amazing thing is that there's people to fall back on. And I really do think that, like, there's people around you to support you, and that's, like, the sweetest thing, and I've realized that through, like, talking to my friends and stuff, that there's always people to support you through taking risks, and, I was literally telling my friend the other day is that if you take a risk right now, if you try to jump a giant gap, like, pretend there's a canyon, and you try to jump that entire gap, like, if you fall, like, I'll be there to catch you. If you make it, I will be there to celebrate you, and that's how I feel about it. I feel like people like Amber Glenn maybe is another good example. Again, like going for the triple axel was a crazy accomplishment and then failing over and over and over again and finally landing it at 2020, was it 2022 Skate America? No, 2023 Skate America? I literally can't remember. Landing at Skate America was such a huge accomplishment for Amber Glenn, obviously, and I respect that so much from her. And I thought that like it's that thing, it's like those people, like, I'm sure she had a huge support team around her and her fans, like me, like, I was, like, so on the Amber Glenn train, like, rooting for her every moment. There's always gonna be people like that who wanna root for you, even if you maybe don't even know who they are. They're your friends, but they're also your neighbors, they're strangers, they're complete strangers who live in a whole 'nother city, in a whole 'nother state, in a whole 'nother country that still support you, and, like, that is the thing with risk-taking is that, like, you just take it. You're not gonna fail. You're never gonna fail. Like, I've been trying to realize that, like, failing is not, like, a thing sometimes. Failing is a mindset. Like, I'm not gonna lie, failing is a mindset. And we've seen skiers fail for sure. We've seen skaters get the worst scores of their career ever. Like Kevin Amos, for example, is a great example of this. Like moving on to this topic of failure, I guess, like Kevin Amos is a great example of this for me because, like, maybe not earning the best scores at French Masters and that or those early competitions were, but then still being able to fight back and do something amazing at Skate America was great. And then fighting back again at Worlds was really great to see him do, even though he hadn't had the best season in his career ever. He hasn't had the best results ever. But like still fighting for it is such like a powerful thing for me to see. And like I'm just saying that like I feel like skating, like watching skating, like becoming a skating fan has kind of changed my life because like I don't know, I've learned so much morally from it as much as I have it's fun obviously to watch. I love skating, but I've learned so much morally and humanistically, I guess, like as a person, I've learned a lot. Like I've seen skaters have programs where they fall 3 or 4 times and them just getting back up again to perform is amazing. And yes, I know you kind of have to do that. You have to stand up again. But I'm just saying that, like, just having the motivation to do it again, just stand up, finish the program, put on a face, like, that is so amazing to me sometimes. And I just think that, like, that amount of motivation to be able to do that and to, like, say no to failure because failure is just a mindset in the end. Failure is just a mindset. Like, I don't fail. Like, I don't fail if I don't think I fail. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fail as long as I don't think I fail. And I feel like a lot of skaters who maybe make a lot of mistakes, who maybe have a lot of negative programs or bad programs, or just terrible jumping passes, or just their spin went wrong, or their step sequence was a little floppy. I don't know. Like, they just have that mindset that, like failing is not a thing. Like, it's just succeeding, it's just getting better. And I love that for a lot of skaters. And I've just learned that myself through skating. Like I just don't feel like I'm that kid anymore who will like give up on everything and like give up on every single bitty itty thing ever. Like I just don't want to anymore. And like that's a lot from skating that I've learned, honestly. Like maybe this is cringy. Like please don't tell me this is cringy. I'm sorry for ranting so much, but I just think that that is such an amazing thing for me to like look at. Like there's examples for me to look at of skaters who fail and who fall and who just do terrible programs. And yet they get back up and they go compete at a 10 more competitions and for 5 more seasons. And they forget it. They don't forget it maybe, but they kind of put it behind them and look at that as a learning experience. Experience. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm trying to speak different languages now, but yeah. I would say that failure isn't it's like a mindset is like one of the lessons that I've learned from skating that I've applied in my own life and like seeing that again with the idea of risk taking that I mentioned earlier, like taking the risk and not being afraid to fail is the most powerful thing that I think has ever like changed me and like thinking that way has changed my life and thinking that way has come a lot from skating because a lot of those skaters take risks by doing, harder jumps, attempting quads, attempting triple axles, doing elements that no one else is doing. And yeah, maybe they fail, but then they don't look at it as a failure. They fall, they lose a level. I don't know. They don't look at it as a failure. They look at it as a learning experience because failure is just a mindset. Literally, failure is just a mindset. That's the main like I could repeat that. That's my new motto. That's my new mantra. Mantra. I don't know. That's my new mantra is that skating or not skating. Skating is just is a mindset. No, failing is just a mindset. Like I don't fail, I just learn. Like I don't want to say that I like kind of bossed that, but like I don't know. I cooked. I don't know, guys. Okay, but yeah, that's definitely what I've learned from skating for sure. Okay, guys, I'm back because like water. Oh my god, the room right now is hot. Like, is this my room or is it the Saharan desert? I don't know, but I don't know, guys. Like recently, I've also been thinking a lot about like my relationships to other people, and especially my friends, and how much they mean to me right now. Because my friends have been like, my friends go through things with me. Does that make sense? I'm the person going through things, but like it's like they go through things with me, and that's the most powerful thing. I'm sorry if you can hear my table; it's a little creaky right now because I'm a little off balance, I guess, on the table. I don't know. I'm not on the table. I'm just like my chair is hitting the table. Sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a hot mess right now, and I own it. I own that. But anyway, what was I saying again? I'm sorry. I was thinking a lot of my friends, and I feel like friends is a common theme in figure skating as well, because I think on the ice we just see competitors for sure. Like we're pitting people against each other. It's always like Mao Asada versus Unicam, Yuzuru Hanyu versus Nathan Chen, right? We always see competitors, and we fail to see friends sometimes. And I humble myself, not humble myself. I remind myself sometimes that these skaters are sometimes friends. Like they're sometimes straight up friends. Like they are friends till the end. Um, and how amazing is that to have a supportive skating community around you that kind of honors you and cherishes you? And I keep on burping because I had chilies. I'm sorry. How many times will I mention that this episode? But because your friends are there for you when you fall and you need to be caught and you need to be picked back up and you need to someone to hold your hand to be there. And that's a lot of the common thing we see in skate. I feel like my favorite moment, one of my favorite moments of this whole nationals or this whole season was at the US Nationals when Amber Glenn hugged Elise Lynn Gracie off the when she got off the ice after not that her best program at all, but Amber Glenn hugging Elise Lynn Gracie was the most precious moment I think ever. And to see that friendship, yeah, they're competitors for sure. One of them wants to be the other for sure. Both of them want to be each other. But like to see that they're competitors but also friends is like such a good moment because you know what? Like at the end of the day, like you are not living just your own life. You are influencing the life of other people around you. And friends are like one of those main people you influence, and they influence you too. And to see like Amber Glenn hugging Elise and Gracie, supporting her, loving her, caring for her was such a peak moment of this season for me. And it's just reminding me of like, hey, like I have friends too, and I know friends who, if I fail, they will talk about it with me. They will help me. They will try me to get me to succeed and to see things in a different way again because sometimes I get stuck in that rut of failure is everything and I failed and now I'm worth nothing. And like that is such a bad mindset to have. But then I have my friends who I talk to, who I get free therapy from because I can't afford therapy, and like who I just feel like they are everything to me and they're there to help me. Okay. I will also say I feel like there is like a huge respect among the male competitors, the men as well. I feel like Mikhail Shidorov and like Ilya Molina is kind of a good example of this. I feel like they're always mentioning each other. I feel like they've mentioned each other a lot as like inspirations. I really do enjoy that. Like seeing that like camaraderie. Is that how you say that word? Look at me trying to use my vocab for once and failing to do so. Camaraderie, like seeing that camaraderie, and like, yeah, they're competitors for sure. Both of them are always trying to beat each other. They're competitors for sure, but they're also, in the end, they're people. And they can be friends, and they are friends to the end. You know what I mean? They skate together on the same ice sometimes, and they compete, but they're friends, and they're friends in a way that I feel like are kind of like we're always trying to one up each other, but we're also trying to support each other at the same time. And if we go for an accomplishment here, I want to help you with another accomplishment there. And that's kind of like powerful, like messaging to me. I guess is that, yeah, like, yeah, sometimes like I want to be better than my friends. Sometimes my friends want to be better. Sorry, I see. Sometimes my friends want to be better than me. I really had to pause this sneeze. I'm sorry. But yeah, sometimes I want to be better than my friends. Sometimes my friends want to be better than me. I recognize that. But in the end, we're all here to support each other. Like, I'm going to start crying. Like, this is true stuff. And I've learned this a lot from skating is that I'm not an individual in the end. I'm a group. I'm part of a community. I'm part of a group. I'm part of a family. That is the main thing. Especially as well, I feel like in pairs and ice dance, like that one of the biggest things I love to see in pairs and ice dance is mutual support for one another in terms of a partnership. If one of you falls on your side by side jump attempts or the throw, and you just have not the best program ever, and you are hugging each other and embracing and saying that it's all okay at the very end of the program, that's how you know you've won, like relationship wise, you've won partnership wise because you are there for each other, and that is so powerful. And I see that I want to be like that because so many times it's just like, oh gosh, we fell in that element, we both did terrible in the twizzles, the lift, we messed up on it. It's like having that mutual support for each other at the very end of your program, even though maybe you won't qualify the free dance, maybe even though you won't be on the podium. I think it's like the most powerful thing ever. And I think that like so being able to support each other is like the best feeling ever. And I like recognizing that you have that support even is so powerful because where else can you find that support? Where else have you built up a relationship powerful enough to have that support? You know what I mean? And like yeah, like even in real life, it's just like I have all these relationships I'm happy that I've built because then I can help them, they can help me. If I fail, they'll help me. If they fail, I will help them. Like that's the most important thing to me is being able to recognize that and being able to like see that in skating and real life obviously. Now obviously you also have those partnerships where like the partners are kind of solo and they they kind of want to don't want to help each other and yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's those junior pairs and they get mad at each other and the junior ice dance couples they get mad at each other. But the main thing to me is like seeing the positive side and like looking at like hey, like those people are really lovely to each other and like they're a supportive partnership and that's really nice. Like, I want a supportive partnership too. But yeah, that's something I've learned from skating is like to focus on my friends, even though they're, when I'm taking risk, when I'm being scared of things. Okay, what else has been happening in my life recently that I want to talk about? Yeah, I feel like risk taking was probably the biggest theme, and having friends was the biggest theme. Um, Let me think. Like working on my mindset as well. I feel like working on my mindset is a big thing. I feel like this is going so many random places. I'm sorry, but that's the nature of the ranting episode. Working on my mindset has been a big thing as well. Like I have really been trying to work on my mindset because a lot of people tell me I'm a pick me. Not gonna lie, I kind of am. Like I'm always, I don't know, guys. Like I'm always, like I truly believe it though. Like I don't like to boast and brag and whatnot. So I like to try to be humble and sometimes it comes off the wrong ways that I'm being like conceitful, I guess. Is that how I'm using am I using that right? I don't know. I'm just using it on my vocab today. But sometimes I feel like it comes off wrong and it seems like I'm being like a terrible person by being like so humble. I'm just like, oh no, I don't think I did that good on that test. And then I end up doing really well on it because I just don't like to believe in myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm terrible at believing in myself sometimes. I feel like that is my main my main pet peeve with my own character is that I'm terrible at believing in myself when I know I should believe in myself. Um and I really want to point out Amber Glenn, for example. Amber Glenn, she's my idol. She's my hero. She's my everything. She's my Pink Pony Club. I would go to the Pink Pony Club with her because she's amazing. And, like, Hot to Go exhibition, amazing. But anyway, about Amber Glenn is that, like, I think a lot of people were talking about Amber's mindset for a long time. And then Amber started talking about her mindset. And when Amber started talking about her mindset, it was kind of like a powerful thing because Amber then she's apparently started working with like a sports psychologist and really being able to focus on changing her mindset and seeing that effect on her skating. She became like it was night and day. Like I remember seeing her at 2024 World and being so sad and mad and angry, not at her, but like for her. Doesn't make sense. Like I was so sad for her. I was like, no, Amber, like this is not the program you really wanted. And that's totally okay, right? That is totally okay. Um, it's totally okay that that happened. I feel like I'm gonna puke right now. I'm so sorry. Like I feel sick. That chili is not good. I did not feel good. But yeah, I think in the end, like then we saw her come back obviously in the fall in like September at the Lombardia Trophy, and she was a whole new skater. And a lot of people accredited that, including her. She accredited that and cited that all that success came from kind of working with a psychologist and changing her mindset about things and kind of focusing on her mental health and her self care and her well being. And I want to change my mindset too sometimes because I feel like sometimes what's preventing me from succeeding and what's preventing me from doing the things I want to do is straight up just a matter of my mindset because I have this terrible mindset that I can't do things that I'm not comfortable with. I can't do things I'm not used to. I can't do things that have a chance of me failing. I like to be safe and then but that really does affect me sometimes and I do feel like sometimes I'm not becoming the best person I can be because I have a kind of mindset. And I know this is kind of turning into like a self-therapy episode, and I'm sorry. But, like, to see Emery Glenn go through all of that and to, like, improve herself at the very end and to see obviously very noticeable effects in her skating. Like, she was earning, like, 40 points more what she usually gets, which is crazy, like, 30, 40 points more. She was landing triple axels in both programs. She was doing her combos right. She wasn't popping a lot. Like, like, it was such a night and day dramatic transformation that it was like, I almost wanna see that in my own life. Obviously, not to directly compare myself to her, just to cite her as an inspiration, but, like, in my own life, for sure, like, I have things that I wanna do, and I feel like if I change my mindset about things, then I will be able to do them better, and sometimes it's just about mindset, and I would love to, like, be able to talk to Amber Glenn about all of this, not gonna lie, she's my idol. I would love to talk to her for, like, an hour. Instead, I would probably just, like, die instead, though, like, in her presence because she's so magical. I think Fairyland's magical. Like, secretly, she's a fairy. But anyway, sorry. But yeah, about like the mindset thing and how it actually changes everything. But like focusing on my like what I want and not what my mindset wants as a thing that I really want to focus on. Because like again, failure is a mindset, but growth is also a mindset, and you're never gonna grow unless you think you can grow. And sometimes I think like I'm already grown enough, I'm mature enough, I'm a perfect like I'm done like aging in that kind of way, like morally, intellectually kind of way. And I know like I'm not at all. I'm so young and I'm so stupid and I'm a teenager who doesn't know anything about my life, anything about life in general. I had know nothing about life. And in the end, I realized that I am still the type of person who wants to improve and who wants to improve really, really well. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with my mindset. And if I want to improve as a person, I have to improve as a thinker. As I have to improve in the way I perceive things and I think about things and I want things. And yeah, Amber Glenn, she wanted cleaner programs. She wanted to focus more on her skating and to feel more like herself on the ice. And that's exactly what we saw from her and what we got from her. And that helped like so much for sure. Yeah, let me think what else. Sometimes I do feel like I am like I try not to admit this, not gonna lie, but I sometimes am like one of those people who like I feel judged constantly by society, and so I don't do things that are like weird or like different or like I try not to do things like that. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain. Like sometimes it's just like I don't want to do things so that I want to look weird. I don't want to look different or anything. But I feel like skating is the opposite of that. There's so many skaters out there who are doing the complete opposite from everyone else, and that is what is so unique to me. And I think that's why I love artistry. The idea of artistry that everyone has their own artistry is my cup of tea, like my inspiration because having everyone having their own kind of artistry is so important. You look at a scale like Dennis Valcias, for example, who is so different from the rest of the men. He is so artistically, he's very different. He's not going for these like tough programs, I guess, like not very jump heavy programs. He is including intentional artistry in every one of his programs and adding this grace and balletic elegance to every one of his programs and adding that type of personality and fun that he wants to add to those programs. And I admire that so much. The same thing with Jason Brown, for example. I'm not going for those quads. Who cares about the quads? Focusing on his skating skills and his artistry and his clean jumping instead is like what I want to see from him, but like what I love that for him. I love that for him, honestly. I really, really do. Um And obviously with me, I'm just like, well, I should be more like that. Like sometimes I just kind of look at skaters like as an inspiration because like those skaters are like what I want to be when I'm older. You know what I mean? Like that type of skater, like or that type of person who just doesn't really care about what other people really, really think. Um, Obviously maybe like following the rules of the game, still trying to win, I guess, but at the same time, not really caring about how I win, not really caring about what I really, really look like on the ice, not really caring about how I am perceived by other people because sometimes I straight up just like get concerned. Like other people will hate me if I do this. Other people will do this to me if I do this. But at the same time, like, should I really care what other people think about me? Like as long as I think that I'm doing something right and I'm doing myself right, like I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to do what I want. And who really cares about what other people say? Like maybe I sound a bit of a terrible person for saying this, but sometimes I just don't care about what I don't want to care about what other people say and yet I still do, and like that bothers me a lot. Um, but kind of just doing what I want to do and not really being too bothered about what other people say about it. I think is the most powerful thing, and I think and even being recognized, obviously we have skaters like Denzel Diaz who are very unique in their artistry, and instead of being criticized, like, I would be scared if I acted out and I did something differently, and I would be criticized. Instead of being criticized, Denzel Diaz is praised, like, I love him, you know what I mean? I love his skating so much, and, instead of being criticized, you're being praised, and that's kind of the same idea that I wanna have. Not that I want to look for praise and attention all the time. That's not what I want to do for sure. But just thinking that, like, it isn't always a bad thing to be different and to do what I want, because yeah, it could come out with a good result in the end, and other people could like be like, hey, that was really brave of you to do. That was really cool of you to do. That was really amazing of you to do. Sorry, I'm like congested too. All the health problems are coming out today, guys. It's because all the sweat and like hot air in this house. I swear. I'm dying as I record this. But I'm gonna keep on going. But yeah, like artistry and like skaters like that, like Jason Brown and Dennis Vicios, who don't subscribe to the traditional way of acting or skating or being an artist. At least in their discipline in the world of figure skating as we normally see, I guess, are such an inspiration to me that I want to be like them because I don't want to care about what other people say. Like, that's so cliche, but that's honestly something I struggle with. I think that's honestly something a lot of people struggle with, is like not being wanting to be looked at the weird and stuff. But I honestly don't care anymore. Not that I don't care anymore, but I'm working on trying not to care anymore. I think a lot of people should try to work on that too. It's just not really caring what other people do, not really caring about what other people say, because there's people out there who really just want to hurt you, and there's people out there who really want to love you and support you no matter what you want to do. And look at the positive instead of the negative. I have this friend, and she's kind of the inspiration for this whole episode, not gonna lie, like what I'm talking about, because she's like the best therapist I ever have, and she will support me through any decision I make, not gonna lie. And she will see my reasoning and everything. She's like, she's the best. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. She knows who she is. She's amazing. I talked to her today for like 2 hours because she's just like, she's amazing. And I never would be where I am without her. Yeah, I'm gonna cry. Oh my gosh. Okay, what else can I talk about? Um, Let me think. What else can I talk about? Trust. I want to talk about trust for sure. Because trust to me is something I like struggle with. I'm not gonna lie. I think I grew up a very like independent person. If that makes sense. Like, I'm a very independent person. I hate group projects. I think that's a big sign of me not being able to trust other people. Is I hate group projects. I refuse to do group projects sometimes. I would rather do everything alone. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, even if it's a huge project, I'd rather do things alone because I like having control over my own things. I like being able to make my own decisions. I like having my own initiative. I love everything like that. But when I'm forced into a group project, I absolutely hate it. I'm not gonna lie. Not even they might be amazing, good people, but I still do not like. I will no. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Um, yeah, I don't like that at all. But what ends up happening, I guess, is like I just kind of feel like I need to learn how to trust better, and I think obviously pairs and icing is the most example of this because two people have to trust each other so much, especially in pairs. I get scared so much sometimes about some of those throws in pairs or some of those lifts in pairs or the triple twist is a super scary element for me to watch, especially if it goes up super high. The amount of trust you have to have in the other person to be able to do that is mind-boggling to me because you have to trust the other person to do that. You can't just like, hey, you want to throw me up? You know what I mean? You can't just do that. Like you can't just do that. You have to be able to trust the other person, and it's working on a lot of trust things. And like to me, like what's a good pair? I don't know. Like what's a good like best friendship pair? Oh, like to me, I feel like Danny O'Shea and Ellie Cam are a good example of this because they are a very new team. They haven't had a lot of time to be each other's partners, yet they trust each other a lot. I feel like their friendship, their partnership is so strong. And obviously they've worked a lot on their elements together, and I feel like that is a good example of trust. Like they trust one another, especially on those throw jumps. They've improved so much on because I just feel like they trust each other on the throw jumps more, if that makes sense. But yeah, I would trust Danny O'Shea. Obviously, he seemed like a super chill guy. I would trust him. Um, but when it's like a death-defying element that could get you hurt, like that is something hard to trust somebody on for sure. But obviously, Cam and O'Shea have such a great partnership that I feel like they trust each other so well, and that's the kind of thing I want to start opening myself up to because I'm afraid of trusting other people sometimes. I'm afraid of talking to people about things I want to talk about because I'm afraid they're going to tell other people. They're going to make fun of it. Like I just don't have like there is no sense of loyalty. Like I don't like other people being loyal to me. That isn't a concept in my head. Cuz to me like that's scary. Other people being loyal to me is scary. Like, because like, what if they tell people? Like, what if what screw up? They reveal everything about me that I don't want other people to know. Like, that's the scariest thing to me, and I do feel like that is what holds me back a lot. Um, but anyway, yeah, I feel like trust is a big thing I want to work on, and a lot of that comes from watching skating and seeing these partnerships, especially in ICS as well. Some of those lifts are absolutely crazy, especially on those solo elements. You have to trust your partner isn't gonna bump you, or they trust your partner is on the same rhythm as you. There's a lot of like connection and trust that you need to have that I don't naturally have with a lot of other people, and obviously that is something I have to work on. Even in my friend group, I'm like, can I trust people with this? But they're my friends. Like, why should I be scared of that? Why should I be scared of that? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I feel like trust is something I want to work on, and a lot of that comes from skating in general, and that idea of having trust in somebody else and multiple people, obviously. Trust in your coach as well, trust in your team, trust in the people around you who are trying to help you in general. That's what I want to, really focus on. Yeah. Okay, what else? Um, I think to end off, I would say not to end off, but kind of just like conclude with like my biggest point is the idea that I'm growing up. I think that's like that's been a big thing in my life recently that I'm growing up and I'm maturing and I'm becoming a better person, all those good things. And like I don't know, I've been talking to my friends a lot about this and like especially that one friend I mentioned a few minutes ago. She's amazing. She's so amazing. I love her so much. But like like how to explain? Like I'm just growing up as a person in general. I'm growing up obviously physically. I'm getting older every year. I'm gonna start growing my gray hair soon, but I'm getting older like intellectually and morally and emotionally as well. I'm getting better at handling my emotions and everything. And sometimes I honestly shock myself with how far I've gone and how far I've grown and how far I've developed. Sometimes I genuinely shock myself with that. Like, oh my gosh, like I would never have done that like 10 months ago. I've never would have done that last month. And now I am doing that and I am processing and I am healing and I am doing all this good stuff and I'm happy about that. And like that's to me again another thing I can connect back to skating. So many skaters develop so much throughout their careers, not even just like jumps wise. Like, yeah, obviously skaters earn new quads, they acquire new quads, they acquire new jumps, they get better scores, they get more titles, Grand Prix, championships, world, Olympic medals, whatnot, and things like that. But I also feel that skaters grow as people through their experiences, not even just on the ice, on and off the ice for sure. People grow from their experiences. Um, I think skating must be like the gift of a lifetime sometimes. Maybe it does feel like a curse sometimes, but sometimes it must feel like the gift of a lifetime because it teaches you so much. And I would love to hear some wisdom from some of those skaters about what they've learned from skating, how it applies to life in general. But for me, what is it? For me, like the thing is like I've grown up and I've matured and that's a natural thing to do. I've improved. I'm earning my own version of quads is taking risk. My own versions of getting medals is getting the things I want, and not even when I don't get the things I want, earning things that I would have learned or I should learn or things that I need to learn for sure. And that's kind of my own version of victory. And I kind of see myself in that in figure skating. Every jump in a free skate to me is a new risk that I'm taking. Every spin is a little whirlwind and a little accident and something that happens that doesn't turn out well. Every step sequence is the nice and easy and peaceful stage. And every choreo sequence is that final blast of emotion sometimes. And every podium is like, wow, I just did that. And every podium is also a sign of, hey, I have so much more to go. And I have so much more to show. And I have so much more that I can do. And I just feel like I've won recently. Like I've won like a lot. And I still have so much more to win. I feel like I won this school year. I feel like I won my life back this year. I feel like I won a lot of things. Oh God. And I kind of just want to cry about it. Not gonna lie, I'm crying out of like joy though, for sure. Um, yeah. But yeah, every like moment in my life, I feel like I could track to like a skating moment, and there's so many programs that I just like epic programs. Unikim's Adios No Nino, I feel like it's such a classic for sure. Carrie Sakamoto, No More Fight Left in Me was so amazing as well. But I think those programs just give off the vibe of like making it. I don't know how to explain, like making it and seeing how far you've gone and how much further you have to go. For sure. And I don't think there's no I can't really retire from life, if that makes sense. Skaters retire from their careers and they, some of them stay involved in skating and whatnot. But what I've learned from skating is that I can't really retire ever from life. I feel like a lot of people skaters are never able to completely retire from skating. Their skating is always kind of a part of their life. And it's all for me. I can't really retire for life, like from life. Like a lot of my past is always going to be part of my present. All of my future is going to be influenced by my past and what is happening right now. And I can't really retire from any of that. It's just I keep on collecting experience as I go along. Every season a skater goes through, they earn a little more experience. They earn a little bit more knowledge and they earn a little bit more maturity that I think it can't be found anywhere else. And I feel like I'm learning that through life as well. I feel like I should probably stop ranting now. I hope that wasn't a terrible episode. I'm very sorry that this was very unplanned and disorganized. I came up with a lot of these points kind of on the spot, but yeah, kind of talking about my life and like what's going on and how it kind of relates to skating and the inspiration that I see in skating and how I learn from skating that I hope you guys do learn from skating as well. Skating is a wonderful sport. I love figure skating. Can't imagine my life not watching it. I can't imagine what would have happened if I never clicked on those Olympic figure skating videos from 4.5 years ago. Because I love it now. This is what I love to do. I love to watch. I love to talk about it. I hope you guys are able to learn and get something and grasp a new idea from roller skating as well. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Teen Task Gaming Podcast. My name is Zango. I hope you enjoy my ranting about, how skating relates to my life, how life relates to skating and everything, what I learned from it. Next episode will definitely be a whole lot more organized. Trust me. I will maybe do another video essay, or I am waiting for Grand Prix assignments to come out. I feel like it's more of a mid to late June, earliest July maybe thing. Obviously, Grand Prix assignments, especially in the Olympic season, are super important. So that's what I'm really looking forward to looking at. But obviously, if that doesn't, work out in the end, whatever, I'll just think of more episodes to do. It's officially summer. I hope you guys have a great summer. If you're still in school, don't worry. I hope your summer is coming soon. If you're in work, I hope you still have a great summer. Do manage some time for yourself for sure. But thank you so much for listening to the episode. My name is Angel. I will see you next week in another fun episode that I randomly come up with. And bye bye.